Hi everyone, welcome to Naresh IT Technologies video session. This is Rakesh Singh. In this today video session, we are going to discuss about one of the most important method of jQuery DOM traversing, the method called eq method. So what is the use of eq method, when to use eq method, and why should I use eq method? About this we are going to discuss in this session. So first of all, try to understand eq is a method which is defined into the jQuery core library as a part of jQuery DOM traversal, nothing but DOM traversing. Whenever we are going to traverse to DOM element, at that time we may required to work with what? eq method. So this is belong to which category? Traversing, and it is used for what purpose? Filtering the element based on the given index number in the set of matched elements. So what is the description? This method is used to reduce set of matched elements to one element at the specified index. Means suppose we are having the set of elements. Example, we have set of input element. So once we select the element matched by element selector or class selector or any selector, that returns a jQuery object, right? And that jQuery object represents a collection of elements in which it can be a 0 elements if no element is matched, maybe one element, or maybe what is it? Multiple elements. So among the set of matched elements, I would like to traverse to a specific one element using their index number. Then we must use one method called eq method, because whatever the selector returns, it is a jQuery object that represent a collection, and in the collection each item will maintain their index number start from 0, means nothing but 0 base index number. So we want to traverse to particular one element with their specified index number, then we must use one of the most beautiful method given by the jQuery team people in our jQuery library, the name called eq method. Easily we can traverse to one element with their specified index number. So what is the syntax? Here I am having two syntax. One syntax which is supported from jQuery 1.1.2 version of the jQuery library, and the second syntax what we are going to use, that started by the jQuery team people into the what? jQuery version number 1.4. So look at over here, syntax $of selector dot eq of index. So what it does, $of selector, as we know in our previous video session, number of selectors we have discussed how to select the elements. $of selector, it is going to select the set of elements. In that set of elements, it may comes one element, it may comes what? Multiple elements. Suppose you are writing $of li, it means what? It selects all the elements which are matched by li on your HTML DOM. There is a possibility we may have multiple li elements. So it is going to select what is it? All the set of li elements, and in those set of li elements we may required to find out any one element with the specified index number. Then we just use one method called what is it? eq. This index number start from what is it? 0 based. So if I give the 2, eq of 2, it means what? It is going to select the what? Third element. 2 means what? Nothing but 2 index number start from 0. So 0 become the first, then 1, and then 2. It means always looks for what is the third element if it is present in the set of matched elements. One more, right, here having the syntax, but before going to the second syntax, observe here what is the index. Index always have what type? Integer type, and an integer indicating the what? 0 based position of the element. So this integer value what we are passing, nothing but index integer value, is going to indicate what? 0 based position of the element. Now one more syntax is defined in this jQuery library for eq method, which was added by jQuery team people into the later version. The name is what? jQuery library 1.4 version. That what it does, it is going to have syntax $of selector dot eq of index from end. Are you getting my point? Index from end means we can find out the element specific element means one element with their index number from the end position, not from the beginning position. So we can add $selector.eq of what? Index from end. But how will I index from end? That will be written in using the minus value. We'll see the example how to use the element finding with a specified index number from the end position instead of what is the beginning position. So what is the index from end? It is also integer type value, and integer indicating the position of the what element counting backward from the what last. So from the last in backward direction is going to count, and then it is going to match. If it is a matched any one specific element with the specified index number, that is going to be selected, and on the selected element any certain operation we can perform, like we can apply some CSS, we can add some class, we can hide the element, we can show the element, we can apply some animation on that element. Any kind of operation we can perform once the element is selected in the set of matched element with the specified index number. So first we are selecting what? Set of matched element, that is going to reduce with how many elements? One element with the specified index number. So this is the use of what is it? One of the DOM traversal method, the name called EQ, which is always used to filter, means it is going to traverse to the specific one element to filter out with the matched what? Index number. That's what we say. It is always comes under what category? Traversing category, as well as for what purpose? Filtering purpose. Right. So we'll see their implementation, practically how to implement that. So you can observe that here, given a jQuery object that represents a set of DOM elements. So if I am writing $selector means example $li, so it is going to return what? A jQuery object. And in this jQuery object, what is going to come? Set of DOM elements. Which DOM elements? In my selector I have been used what? Li. It means set of what elements? All the Li elements. If I write $div, it means what? It is also going to return a jQuery object in this set of DOM elements. Which DOM elements? All the div. And those all the div which are going to represent in the jQuery object will be maintained with the 0 base index number. So in those elements we need not to perform any operation to all those div elements, all those paragraph elements, all those Li elements. We need to perform to the specific one element with matched by with the index number. Then we must use one of the traversal method of the jQuery library, the name called what? EQ method. So given a jQuery object that represents a set of DOM elements, the EQ method constructs a new jQuery object. So if you are going to apply the EQ method to set of matched elements, and we are going to specify the index number, if any element is matched with this specified index number, it is going to construct a new jQuery object, and that new jQuery object also representing as a collection, but in the collection is going to come how many elements? Only one element. So please remember, EQ method is always going to filter one element with what? Specified index number. So if the specified index number is matched in the set of matched elements, it always returns one jQuery object with how many elements? One element. It cannot return more than one element. Right, from one element within the set of matched elements. The supplied index identifies the position of this element in the what is it? Set of matched elements. Consider a page. Suppose I have an HTML page with a simple list on it. So I am having unordered list with the what? List of items like item 1, item 2, item 3, item 4 and item 5. So if I am going to write this line of code $li. First look at this one, $li. It is what? $selector. What is my selector? Element selector. Which element selector? Li. So $li what going to represent? It is going to return a jQuery object with what? Set of matched elements. How many matched elements? So according to my current page, I am having how many list of items? 5 list of items as a part of another list. So $li is going to return what? A jQuery object with a 5 list of items. In the 5 list of items, I need to perform the operation to the any one element with the specified index number. So I am going to use what method? EQ method. EQ of what is that? To dot what is that CSS. So eq of 2 means what? It is going to find out one element which is equivalent to index number 2, and that return a new jQuery object with only one element, and on that going to perform the operation what is that CSS with CSS background color red, or any other operation we can perform, not only the CSS operation we can perform. So what is going to happen? The result of this call is a red background color for which item? Item 3, because this eq of 2 is going to traverse to the element with a specified index from what? 0 based. So 0 based means what? The item 1 is what? 0, item 2 is what? 1, and item 3 is what? 2. So I am here giving what? In my example 2, it means it is going to apply the background color red to which one? Item 3rd. Note that supplied index is what based? 0 based, and refers to the what? Position of the element within the what? jQuery object, not within the DOM tree. Please remember, right? This eq of 3 is going to search into the what? jQuery object which is written by $li, not to the entire DOM tree, only for the what? jQuery object in which all the list items selected, in that is going to find out the what element? One element with the specified index number 2 which is start from what? 0 based, not in the entire DOM tree. Right. So this let us implement practically in our development environment and to see the output whether really this is giving the result as per our expectation or not. So let's move to the development environment. This is my Visual Studio development environment in which I have an HTML page, the name called HTML page.html, and I'm having the what? Object the list items, having what list item? On order list with what is it? Item 1, item 2, item 3, item 4, item 5. I have set of how many items? 5 items. Now what my requirement is? The item 3rd, this item 3rd, right, must be applied with the what? Red color. So first you are going to select all the elements, the name is what? Li elements. In that you are going to traverse to one specific element with their what? Index number, and for that we are going to use one method, the name called what is it? eq method. So let's move into the what? Script section, where ready event is already registered for our document object, means as soon as document ready, that time I want to perform the operation. So in this what we are going to write? Dollar of what is that? Li. This is what? My selector. So this selector what it does? It is going to select all the element which are matched by what is that? Li. Right. But this returns what? One jQuery object with how many elements, or a collection of elements? Collection of elements, because in my HTML documents I am having how many list of items? 5 list items. So these all list items are going to returns as a jQuery object, and that represent what? Collection of items with the what? 5 items. But my requirement to perform the operation to not all 5 items, my requirement to perform the operation to is specific one element. So for that purpose I am going to use what method? eq method, because I want to find out, I want to traverse to one element with their specified index number. So eq of, right now in my example I am giving what? 2. It means what is nothing but eq of the 2 index number, and start from what? 0 based index when going to top to bottom approach, right? So this is going to returns a jQuery object. Yes. From jQuery object is going to filter what is that? One element which is equivalent to what? Index number 2. So this method returns new jQuery object with how many elements? If it is a match with this index number 2, is going to return how much element? 1 element, and on that 1 element returns I want to apply the operation what? CSS method, and I am going to use background color I want to apply, right? You can apply any CSS properties, not only background color. So I am using background color hyphen color, and which color? Any colors you can apply. Suppose I am using the yellow color, red color, any colors you can apply. I am going to use yellow for clear visibility, right? Or you can use your red color also, not a problem. Save it. Now comes to the browser window, right, and refresh your HTML page which was already loaded in my browser window. I am going to refresh. As soon as page gets refreshed, entire DOM is going to ready. Once entire DOM ready, then going to traverse to all list items. After traversing to all list items, in that it is going to traverse to one list item which matched with the specified index number 2. And index number 2 nothing but what is the 3rd item, because it start with the what? 0 base index. So you can observe item 1, item 2, only going to apply the yellow color to which element? Item 3rd, right? Now move to the what is it? Here observe. Providing a negative number indicates a position starting from the what end of the set. I don't want to find out from the top to bottom onwards. Right, if I am giving the 2, it is always search from what top to bottom and start index number what is a 0 based. I want to find out any specific one element from the end, from the bottom side in a backward direction. So for that purpose, providing what is a negative number which indicates a position is starting from the what end position of the what set of matched elements. So in the set of matched elements is going to find out from what end position, not from what top position, rather than beginning. Right, for example, $li, what it returns? It returns what a jQuery object with what set of list items. So in the set of list item, what item will come? Item 1, item 2, item 3, item 4, item 5. Right, but I am giving eq of what is it? Not 2. EQ of -2. If I give EQ of 2, it starts searching, it starts traversing from the beginning, which is 0 base index, 0, then 1, then 2. If I give EQ of -2, right, it is going to start traversing not from beginning, it is going to start traversing from end in backward direction. And I am giving what operation? CSS method, background color, any color. Here I am giving what? Red color. Now this line of statement, if I am writing in my jQuery code, in jQuery example, what it is going to return? That result. So this time the item 4 is turned as what? Red color or any other specific color, since it is a 2 from the end of the set. See, if you are given -2, it is means what? From the end position going to search. Last element what is that? Item 5, that is a 1. Then before that what is available? Item 4, that is what? Second item. But here one point to be remember, if you are giving -2, it is not searching what is a 0 base index, because 0 base index always start from what? Beginning, not from what is end. Point to be noted. If you have some knowledge about the array, if you have some knowledge about what is the collection, 0 based index always start from what is it? Beginning, not from the end. So when I am giving -2, then last element is what? First. Before last one more element there, that is called second. So it is going to not select the third element from the end, it is going to select what? Second element from the what is it? End. It means item 4 is going to turn in which color? Red color or any other color if we have given in a background color property, that color is going to come that. So this one we are going to implement in our development environment. Here I am giving $li, right? EQ of -2, right. So first of all, $li what returns? It returns a jQuery object with collection of items. So this code is going to return what items? Item 1 to item 5 in this sequence, right. So this is become what? Beginning to what? Downwards, right. This is become what? End, and end to what is that? Backwards, nothing but going to top. So when I am writing -2, it is always search from the what? End position. But point to be noted, from end position means what? This position. This is became what? 1. This is became what? 2. You may have question that no, this is 0. No, 0 base index always start from beginning to end, not from end to beginning. So in the case of -2, it is going to always select the which element? Item 4, because item 4 is what? Second item from the what? End position, from ending position, right. On that one element in jQuery object going to apply what? CSS background color yellow. If I want to change color, I am changing what? Red color. Save it. Now comes to the browser window and try to refresh your HTML page in a browser window. You can observe that this item 4 will be defined background color with a specified color. This time I have given what color? Red color. So item 4 is going to present into what color? Red color. Refresh. You can observe that item 4 is going to select with what color? Red color. So in EQ, if given the positive value, it always starts from beginning to end. And in that case, start index from what is it? 0 based. If you have given the same number, same index number with a minus, with the negative value, then start searching from what? End, and start searching with what? End position is what? 1, before end what? 2, before that what? 3, like that. Not start from what is it? 0. So not coming item 3 is coming what? Item 4, because I have given -2. So item 5 is a 1 and item 4 is what? 2. Now one more thing is available. Here observe, if an element cannot be found at the specified 0 base index. Clear the point? In my example, how many items are getting selected if I am writing $li? 5 list items. Maybe in your example, 10 list items. Maybe you are working with what? Div elements. So multiple div elements. In my example, in set of matched elements, how many list items coming? 5. And if I am going to write without minus value, start from beginning to end, nothing but 0 base index. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, right. And I am giving eq of 4. 4 is found. Going to select, return as jQuery object, on that apply some CSS method or any other method. If I am going to write what is that, eq of 3, yes, matching. eq of 2, yes, matched. eq of 1, yes, matched. eq of 0, yes, matched. If I wrote eq of 6, eq of 5, eq of 10, so with that specified index number, there is a no element available into our set of matched elements. It means returns a jQuery object with how many elements? 0 elements. And on that, any operation cannot be performed. If you are trying to perform also, it is not going to perform because how much elements selected? 0 elements. So observe here, if an element cannot be found at the specified 0 based index, the method constructs a new jQuery object. Then also the eq method going to construct is going to return a new jQuery object, but in that new jQuery object returns what? Collection, but in that collection there is no elements available. So the jQuery object will be available with how much elements? 0 elements. So new jQuery object with an empty set and a length property will be what? Set 0, means there is no element is present. So if I am writing $li dot eq of 5 without negative value, so eq of 5 means what? 0 base index. It means which index? 5th index. In my example, how much list of items are there? 5. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. How much index there? Last 4. But I wrote how much eq of what is that? 5. It means looking for which element? 6th element. But there is no 6th element is exist in my set of matched elements. So on that, if you apply CSS, it is not going to apply. So here, right, none of the list item is turned in which color? Red color. No item is going to turn into red color. Since eq of 5 indicates the what? 6 of the 5 list item, and there is no 6th item into our list of items because we have only 5 list items. So let's see this one also practically how to implement and see the result. So move to the development environment. Right, I am writing eq of what is it? 5. Observe here, $li dot eq of 5 dot css background color of red. Right, no error at right now, and error will not show at runtime also because jQuery selector and jQuery DOM traversal method return jQuery object, and jQuery object represent a collection of items in which it may be stored one element, multiple elements, and there is a possibility if the selector expression not matched, so returns what? 0 elements. So now eq of 5, now this is going to apply to which elements? All list of items which I am selecting using $li. So this selector expression going to returns how many list items? 5, and index is start from where? 0 based. So this is the 0, first one is a 0, second one what is a 1, 2, 3, 4. So items are there till what index? 4 index. 4 index means which item? 5th item. I am writing which index here? 5. It means which item? 6th item. There is no 6th item is available into our set of matched elements. So on that CSS is not going to be applied. So now save it, comes to the browser window and try to refresh the page. You can see none of the list item is applied with the what? Red color, because code is correct, but in the code what I have written eq of 5 is not able to traverse to 6th element, as in set of matched elements there is no 6th element is found, so their length will be what? 0, and on 0 elements you cannot apply any CSS methods. So this is the way how we are working with what is that? eq method. If you give here one thing, eq of -5, -5. If I have given minus, nothing but negative value, start searching from where? Start traversing from where? End position. And from end position, start counting is what? 1, not 0 base indexed, because 0 base index always start from what? Beginning to end, not from end to beginning. This point, please remember that. It is very important point. So EQ of -5, right? So this is what? 1, right? This is what? 2, correct? This is what? 3, yes. This is what? 4, yes. And this is what? 5. So I am writing EQ of -5. It means it's going to return how much elements? 1 element. So in this case, from end is going to traverse to the 5th element, and from end position, who is the 5th element? Item 1. So now save it and comes to the browser and try to just refresh the page. You can observe item 1 is going to be appeared into what color? Red color. But when I am giving EQ of 5, positive value, not negative value, then start searching from beginning to end, and in that case start searching 0 base indexed, and in case of 0 base indexed, 5th index means what element? 6th element, and from beginning to end there is no 6th element, that's returns what? 0 element. That's what CSS background color red is not able to apply. I hope you have been understood about the today's session, which we have discussed what is that? One of the most important method called EQ method of DOM traversing filtering category. Thanks for watching Naresh IT Technologies jQuery video session. Keep watching and subscribe for more video.